to jump on in here, guys. I know Andrew's about to get in here too. We've been having some issues. Here he is.
There he is.
Between two beards. Here we go.
That's right. And, back at it.
Let's go. So, once again, guys, this is the pregame show live with the Bolt Bros talking about the Week 10 matchup versus the Titans. So, big game, guys. Game that really matters at this point. This is the part of the season. I think Jim Harbaugh talked about it. You know, the middle 8 games are the big games, too, for the season to really set you up for the end of the season. So we're in that point right now. These middle games matter for playoff seeding. So we're going to talk playoffs for sure, always.
We were starting talking a little bit of playoffs on Monday or Wednesday, and people were like, it's too early for playoffs.
Hey, but that's the point. It's if we're not talking playoffs, then we're not trying to be winners, right? So
that's right.
Bottom line, it makes sense.
Yes, sir. It definitely happens about it. So let's just go ahead and let's just jump into it, guys. So y'all ready to hit that button?
Yep.
What's up, Premier, man? You watching the Boat Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Shout out blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Boat Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic Supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Boat Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
For a second, I thought we may have hit the wrong button intro again.
The reverse again, you know?
We're like, that's right.
Beginning with that, that would be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. And by the way, Athir threw out a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Andrew, are you ready to meet Donna next week? Yeah, dude. Donna, yeah, dude. So watch out. He's a new Bolt. So,
who's Donna? I'm not sure who that is.
That's his baby. That's his real baby. That's his real baby. Watch out.
Is this a reference to ghosts? Because one of the ghosts is dating this this chick named Donna, but the rest of the ghosts don't think that she exists because because he can leave the house, but the other ones can't and stuff like that. So.
What's going on here?
Well, with this Donna.
I won't be there next week. I'll be there. I'll be at the Harbaugh Bowl, but I won't be. I think Kyle, you're going to the this week, right?
Yeah, I'm actually planning. No, not Titans, but I'm going to the Bengals. Wait, Bengals. So am I gonna meet Athir in person? Oh my goodness! Hey,
that'd be something.
That'd be crazy.
Dang.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome, man.
I'll take a bunch of photos, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. Thank you once again for the super chat too. And by the way, shout out to everybody in the NFL and also Globe. This is Salute to Service Week. So once again, the NFL will be saluting all the service based upon Memorial Day, Veterans Day. I always get those confused for some reason. So I think it's Memorial Day. Veterans Day on Monday. But NFL will be doing that this week. And once again, thank you for your service. Us and the bros, our dad served in Vietnam. Our grandpa served in two of both of our grandpas. Korean War.
And then I think the other one grandpa served in World War II, I think, actually.
World War II, yep. And then also, currently we have a nephew in the Air Force right now, too. So, which is really awesome. Soldier boy over here, dude. But online, thank you for your service, everybody, too. I definitely wore my Salute to Service jersey today. But appreciate all the support you guys give us and all that, too. I know kind of traveling globally, it's kind of interesting to be able to see how other militaries operate and everything, too. When I was in Korea, I'll just throw a story out there. I went into the third tunnel, which is one of the tunnels that North Korea dug through from the DMZ or North Korea through the DMZ to be able to invade Korea. And it was really interesting to walk through there and just see how tiny it was to be able to try to walk through there. You had to crouch down the whole time, but I guess you could get 10,000 soldiers or something like that in a very short amount of time through that canal. But it's interesting to see how other militaries work, and there was also obviously South Korean soldiers there too, kind of protecting the border and everything too. So once again, salute your service. To your service, thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
we had an election this week. It's interesting. Not to get too political, but at the end of the day, hopefully everyone was able to go out there and perform your civic duty and vote, right? And it's, I will say this. I see a lot of people walking around angry or happy, and just be respectful to our American citizens in general, right? Everyone around us, the sky is not going to fall, right? And I think, it's just remember we're all Americans. We're all in it together. And it's important to have respect for everyone's different point of views. That's what makes America great, right? We're a two-party system. Yep. Republicans need Democrats, Democrats need Republicans. So, let's not lose relationships over that conversation. Let's not have conversations that are damaging future relationships with other people. It's all about, healing this country moving forward, right? So anyways, that's my take on it.
Yeah. And then the one thing too, the pendulum swings back and forth, and understand that one thing that I really, really hope and what I want to see from people.
There we go.
I love it.
Sorry.
I will say in those war times, I would not want to be the guy holding the flag or hammering the drums.
Rubber boy, dude. Oh, boy, dude.
You're
sitting there like throwing drumsticks. You got one drumstick every day. Oh, no.
You're going to hit him over the head with a drum, dude. Like,
the flag with you. Hey, with the flag, at least.
The flag boy, dude. I want to be the flag boy.
Hey, you know what? Look at the flag. You got a spear, man. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Whenever I see those movies, dude, I'm like, oh my God, that is not a role I want to do, bro.
Yeah,
at least put a gun in my hand and go down fighting. You know what I mean?
That's the worst.
Oh my goodness,
dude. We should actually. That'd be really funny to make a skit about that. Like, how does that guy get chosen? Like he's like this guy. He's like, oh, this guy's the
he's a good drummer. He's
the most beats the drum. The most expendable person in the entire Legion or whatever, like
so bad.
Apparently it's a great honor, but I'm like, I ain't about to want that honor myself, So like, I'm good.
So good.
I'm good.
Somebody give that honor to somebody else,
Big pass. Big pass. I don't need that badge. We're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the one thing I'm going to say coming out of the election, though, and I know we don't want to talk. This is not a political channel by any means, but I want everybody to be able to respect each other's views and point of views, and hopefully to be able to have kind of a healing relationship with everybody in a sense. So like, once again, respect each other's beliefs and don't be angry at each other about each other's opposite views of things. And that's the one thing that I really am hoping that it could kind of come together either which way. And once again, both sides will be very angry at each other because they lost or won or either which way. But once again, respect each other's views all around.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's 100%. All it's really about. I mean,
and at the end of the day,
country, it should be not a divided country by any means. Respect each other's views and allow each other to have your own views. We have a lot of freedoms in this country, guys, and respect 100%. Those freedoms.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So,
absolutely.
Well, do we want to start with a video, or do we want to go into some of the
Let's talk about, because we talked about in the beginning, playoffs. So let's just show our chances of what the playoffs are all about. So playoffs. Here we go.
You got to get that little.
Playoffs.
Look at the sound thing. Playoffs.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Playoffs.
Well, here we
go.
Playoff chances here, guys. So
I posted this all over the channel, by the way. Harbaugh for Prez, dude. I posted that all over.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. But playoff chances for this team are looking good, guys. 88.8% right now. So we are in a very, very good position right now.
Playoffs? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I just hope we can win a game.
Yeah, forgot about that.
I love it, dude.
So funny.
We should probably get a lot of those type of like small like blurps from like people like okay, Dennis Allen. Oh, what was it? Not Dennis Allen. Denny Allen, or was the head coach for the?
Let him off the hook.
We let him off the hook. That play. Yeah, that one. That's a fantastic one. That's a fantastic soundbite.
We are who they thought they were.
We let him off the hook. Dude, I remember watching that live. It was hilarious.
But it's so funny.
Anyway, so we got playoff chances here. We're settling in a very, very good position right now. It's literally almost a half of the amount of points that we have that we have right now versus the Denver Broncos. We obviously have a leg up on Denver Broncos because we beat them once and we could play them again later this year. But currently we're at 88.8% right now. And that's great chances. I mean, ultimately you look at it from this point, probably 10 wins will get you to the playoffs. 10 wins will get you to the playoffs. So now we're at obviously 5-3. We could be 6-3 after this week. It's about 4 games for the rest of the season for us to be able to get to the playoffs that we need to win. And I feel very, very confident about it. Now, I do enjoy seeing that the Raiders being at the bottom of the barrel at 0.1%. So let's keep them there, boys.
That's
and
right.
they hired, didn't they hire
Norv Turner?
Norv Turner, that's right, Norv. Yeah, Norv. Yeah,
Good old Norv back. And what's crazy about it, though, too, is that I think the offensive coordinator, I don't know if it's Norv being the offensive coordinator or kind of more of an assistant, but so his son is essentially on the Raiders, too. So it's kind of like father-son type relationship running the offense, essentially. So
okay. Interesting.
Either which way, I don't think it's going to help. I mean, it's funny to me with Antonio Pierce over there firing a bunch of people when he's essentially like an interim head coach. There's no way that he's a long-term perspective head coach of that team. But, I mean, that's the same for any head coach in the NFL. But anyways, I don't mind them being at the bottom of the barrel. So, oh, my gosh, Mike McCoy going back in the NFL. What? Isn't he the quarterback coach for the Jaguars?
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. Oh, they are a disaster this year too. So, really interesting, yeah. But you know, it's nice. So the Chargers are playing great now.
Gotta love it.
You gotta love it, dude. And they should win this game. I mean, everyone's picking the Chargers to win this one this week. And let's. I'll start with one play here, and then I'll tee up a couple more here too. And guys, I apologize. I've been wanting to put the shorts out. Keep forgetting to do it. Like, you know, the election, all this other stuff. And I just kind of had kind of a busy week this week. So my apologies, but I'll be clipping this up and making some shorts. But this is Darius Davis is running back for special teams play. And just goes to show you what a weapon he is.
Oh gosh, I know. I thought he was going to house this one.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah.
Ooh. There's one blocker. Okay, him. And then this guy right here. This guy. So that's the kicker, the punter, 13. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And oh man, I thought he had it. I was like, holy smokes, man.
He shook the punter that bad that he ran right into a tackle, essentially.
Yep.
That's crazy. I mean,
yeah, it's nuts.
It's you know, one thing that was interesting about it is like Darius Davis was injured for a little bit too. And the one thing too about this is that, man, when you got a healthy Darius Davis out there, he could just be an absolute weapon for the special teams.
He's such a weapon.
And the one thing I love too is that this team defensively has been just on fire from the get-go. But our offense is starting to kind of accelerate at that point. And now our special teams, I feel, is getting even stronger at this point. Now, people have been talking a little bit about like, hey, you got any worries about Cameron Dicker moving or missing field goals? And it's like, no, I don't think at all by any means. But I do remember, I can't remember who it was. And I want to say it might have been Matt Money Smith. He talked about with Cameron Dicker about the Cleveland game. And he's like, yeah, that's one of those stadiums that's a little tougher to kick in for some reason. So he showed up a little earlier to try to be able to get kind of used to the winds and the conditions and everything there too, which still led to a missed field goal, ironically. But not all stadiums are the same. I mean, it's a little tough to kick in some stadiums and everything, but regardless, it was still a clean win for us last week. So.
Yeah, Eddie, interesting. The trade deadline conversation, they were talking about KJ Osborne being one guy that we were going to potentially go after. But I think there was some culture fit issues. I don't think he was going to come in with the Chargers. And I think we still have, $70 million in cap space left over at the moment. Yeah, like right around $70 million. So it might just roll that money over.
Like $7 million, not $70
sorry, not 70. Sorry, 7
we can go spend. Let's go.
Whoa, we got some cheddar.
Next year, we got about $77 million, but not this year.
Potentially by more. The way, there's a lot of rumors that we might end up letting Bosa walk, or whatever like that, you know, and that would be. And by the way, if we did that, I looked it up. We would actually we could get a 4th round comp pick for if we ended up letting him go.
Wow.
Yeah. Plus, that would be amazing. We save about $33 million too. So you add basically another 33 on top of that. So you'll have over $100 million to basically spend on free agency next year. So it's pretty big.
Yeah, and I think you need that, right? Well, because it's interesting. I looked at even the Niners. Niners have $53 million in cap space. Browns, who we just played, $46 million in cap space still, right? Which is kind of crazy. So, and I think there's rules where you can roll that money over or just pocket it. There's a couple things you can do, but anyways, it's interesting to think about, next year. But yeah, we'll talk more about that.
And I know you brought up stuff about the whole trade deadline, and I don't know if we emphasized too much about that and why we did not do it. Like, my opinion of it is do we really need to go after a wide receiver? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, I feel like this wide receiver group with a healthy Herbert, basically a healthy Herbert creates very good talent around him.
Hey,
through the wide receiver
that's actually a dang good slogan right there. I might
want to make that one again. I love it.
I like that. Actually, you know what? That would be a great hat too.
Yeah,
make Bosa healthy again. Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I like that. All right. Hey, Jorge, if we make a hat, we'll have to send you one. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was going to say about the whole trade deadline side of things. It's like, the thing is though, like, I don't feel like we really needed to go after anybody. I feel like it could have elevated us, but at the same side, draft capital is almost more paramount at this point.
Yeah.
For this team, because let's say next year you have another 8 picks. You have the ability to add 8 more players to this team. Just give as an example, Tarheeb Still and Cam Hart and how they've panned out from a 5th round pick for this team.
Yeah.
Like, you got to gain more talent all around with this team. Like, let's say this team does get a little bit younger next season, which is a good possibility. Say, for instance, with maybe Khalil Mack not being here next year, maybe Bosa not being here next year. Essentially, you leave yourself with basically Thule at that point. And going back to the whole wide receiver thing, Palmer, I think Palmer's been stepping up quite a bit. Ladd has been doing great. I think Quentin Johnston last week, he had that great over-the-shoulder catch. And then you add DJ Shark, who looks like he'll be starting this week. We don't even know, when you start having those 4 guys out there, it could be a massive difference of how this offense could completely run. So it was kind of more of a luxury if we decided to trade it for somebody, but I don't think it was a necessity, in my opinion. Now, we wanted to be able to get the slam dunk and get that guy that I don't know, let's say a T. Higgins or whatever it is, but he's going to be a free agent next year. You could go out and get him in free agency if you want to. So anyways, that's just my opinion on it.
Andrew's season ended. You get another year of softball from you. Looking forward to bounce back year. Yeah. Yeah. My back, I hurt my back doing deadlifts and pretty bad. Well, not bad, but I couldn't bend over for a while. It's a little hard to swing a bat when you hurt your back like that. But it's one of those things where, so we'll see what happens. But yes, I will definitely be back next year for sure.
Andy needs to get a bacchiotomy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's from, what is that from?
Bacchiotomy.
What's the name of that dang movie? It's a Dave Chappelle movie from back in the days, but he's like, oh, my neck and my back. My doctor said I need a back. All right, there we go. Here we go.
Hey, I think
back at it again, boys.
I think Kyle may hit a button or something. I don't know what happened there. That's
I don't know what happened there, but either which way, Andrew needs a bacchiotomy for sure. Though.
Holy cow!
I didn't touch nothing. No.
Man,
what the heck just happened, guys? What is going on here?
Stop hitting the buttons. Y'all stop hitting the buttons.
We got 2 Jameses in the chat now. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened there.
It's China. They're coming after us.
We're blaming it on China. So this is an interesting play. This is actually the touchdown that Palmer got.
That's right.
It's interesting. They kept talking about how the Browns defense was breaking down. And I agree that they did sort of struggle a little bit as well, too. But, there comes a point where, I think this is where I do think that why am I drawing a blank on his name? Oh, my God. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Passing game coordinator, the main guy.
You're talking about
from the Bears.
Shane
No. Oh, my God. What's his name?
Anyways, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Anyways, he's up in the booth with Greg Roman, G-Ro, right? Yep. So I think he's dialing up plays. He's doing a better job of working the run and the pass. I would almost argue that if I was having that conversation with Greg Roman, okay, you play the running plays, I'll play the passing plays. And you play off of those people. Mark Trestman, there we go. Thank you, Jorge.
Yeah, Marcus Brady is also a part of that same group.
Yeah, Marcus Brady is the original passing game coordinator. Yep. But my point is, this guy was wide open, right? And I'll say this, you could argue it was blown coverage, which it probably was, but this was still a great opportunity. And I think a lot of times, the play action, once the running game starts working, it opens up free runners like this, right? Because look at this right here. Look at the safeties on top, by the way. I think one guy drops right here. I think either he drops or the other guy drops. So he goes to the side. This guy's completely open. I mean, he was completely open too, by the way, Disley.
Yep.
So bottom line, the safeties were not covering the end zone at all, right? And that's a product of people respecting the run, that JK Dobbins got 2 touchdowns last week, and they're like, okay, he's actually pretty good. And it just worked out really well. It's a bit of a rub route here too, so watch this crosser right here. They basically, 2 defenders picked the right person. This is why it's so important to pass off the person to the other defender. Notice, I think it's either Disley or the other. I think it's Quinton, either this way. Yeah, whoever. Yeah, who's that? Quinton. Yeah. So he's over there rushing across, and everyone takes him and not Palmer. So breakdown in coverage, but it was also a good play design, is what I'm getting at, right? That's a really good play design off of what they've done with the running game as well. So I say kudos to our coaching staff.
Yeah, and ultimately it was just, a complete blown coverage. Like, I mean, just allow him to basically go past at that point. Almost, it seems like there was like 4 guys right in that area that pretty much were looking at either Quinton or JK, and then they just completely let Palmer walk into the end zone. So great play, man. I mean, it was awesome to see that. I remember I jumped off the couch when he caught that ball. I was wide open.
It's
Let's
amazing,
go.
Dude. Yeah.
I love to see that, man. So it was really, really good to see that. And, those are one of those games that you start kind of looking at going back to the whole trade deadline situation. You're like, these guys are figuring out ways to basically make plays. They had 2 explosive plays in that game just from the wide receivers, with Quentin Johnston's touchdown and also Josh Palmer's touchdown. So you got to love seeing that, guys. Explosive plays are what it's all about. And healthy Herbert, man, is phenomenal to watch, guys.
It really is. And, it's exciting to see how it plays out. So, all right, let's review the injury report.
Yeah, injury report. Here we go. Let me change this up real quick. I know it seems, it's fine, I think. So here we go. So full injury report here. So Joey Bosa is questionable, just like he normally is. I think JK Dobbins.
Yeah. Okay. He's full though.
He's full. He's fine. Yeah. Gus Edwards, it's going to be interesting. We'll probably know today if he's going to be able to be activated. If you think him limited, and full, he'll probably be activated from the IR today. Now, Christian Fulton, doubtful. He's probably out, which sucks to see because it would have been against his old squad, essentially, to play against the Titans. That's a little added juice to the game. Khalil Mack's had a groin situation, questionable, even though he did not practice all week.
I think he's probably out.
Yeah, I would assume he's out. I mean, and to be honest, this might not be a bad game for him to be able to be out too. We got a bigger schedule. Yeah, we got a bigger schedule ahead of us from this one. But Denzel Perryman, questionable. He did have limited and full on Thursday. Trey Pipkins did not practice Thursday and Friday, and also Jamari Sawyer was playing as the right guard on Friday too. So Jamari might be getting the start if Trey cannot go. JK Scott, left ankle. He kicks with his right from last time I remember, so I think he should be fine. He'll be full, and he should be good to go. Stone Smart's questionable. Jasser will be playing in this game too, so he will be back. So, so that's the Chargers injuries. I mean, I could jump through the Titans too, if you'd like. Will Levis will be starting. Will Levis will be starting this week, so he is Mayo Levis is back, and so that's it. So Trey Avery full, Tyler Boyd full, and it's crazy. I forgot about Tyler Boyd with the Titans, and that was one of those guys that I always thought would be kind of good to be able to bring over the Chargers, but he's over there. I mean, they don't have DeAndre Hopkins obviously there anymore, so their wide receivers are down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Julius Chestnut, he is actually, I think, a part of the Chestnut family, the competitive eater guy.
Really?
No, I have no idea.
He's making a funny. He's making a funny.
Yeah, making a funny here. Let's go. Manny Hooker will be playing Cole, and then you got obviously Will Levis that we talked about. Tony Pollard had a big game last week against the New England Patriots. He is limited, but he should be good to go. Dylan Raduns will be questionable, which is one of their guards. Got a toe boo-boo. And then Calvin Ridley looks like he's good to go. That's one guy that we really need to be concerned about. Ridley is an absolute stud. Jeffrey Simmons is a very good defensive tackle.
He's amazing. Wait. Is he out?
No, he's
incredible. I wish we had gotten him.
I would love to have him. I think he's phenomenal as an inside defensive tackle. He's a menace. L'Jarius Sneed is out. Last time he did play, I believe, against Josh Palmer, he got burned pretty bad. I think it was roughly about 130-something yards, I think, that Josh Palmer had on him. Pretty crazy. Tajay Spears is in. Nick Van Nett is in. But those are the injuries. Now, the one thing, too, what's interesting about this matchup, like we talked about, there's so many correlation of Titans players on this team for the Chargers.
Yeah.
You know, Fulton, you got Bud Dupree, you got Tier Tart, you got – oh, I know there's some more, right? The guy that we traded for, Elijah Moulton too. Yeah. We have so many guys from the Titans, which is pretty incredible. I don't know why we dipped so heavily into the Titans pool, but to be honest, our players that we got are solid, very solid.
But the Titans do have a history of playing very high motor, right? That's kind of the mold of what Jim Harbaugh wants to run and Jesse Minter. And by the way, you cannot give enough kudos for how amazing the defense has been playing, right? So, might not be a bad idea to let JK Dobbins, Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack maybe have a little bit of a rest. Let Thule have a full game, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, Thule had a phenomenal last game too, by the way. He did pretty fun. And I imagine that there's going to probably be some call-ups too. I was kind of thinking about Morris Brash for some reason, about him kind of getting called up for this game, just if say,
Mack's out.
Don't play. Like you'd hope that Bosa could come in, him being questionable, but like Mack not practicing all week, which once again, Mack is an absolute freak of nature. Like that guy's like an ageless wonder in my opinion. I mean, I wouldn't say that he would sit out, but at the same side, if he was going to sit out, this is probably the game that he should sit out, in my opinion. So gotta love it, man. Gotta love to see what we're seeing with this team thus far. And I mean, that defense is absolutely menace, which we will chat about here shortly too. So
it'll be interesting to see. I know Caleb Murphy is a guy we picked up also. We picked him up 2 weeks ago on the practice squad. He's been in the league 2 years. He's from Ferris State. I think he played on, was it the Titans? I can't remember exactly, but let me look at the photo here real quick. I can't tell. It's either I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank on where he came from. But then you got Morris Brash as well too. So maybe they elevate two of those people, and they go from there. Be interesting.
And maybe even Justin Eboigbe gets more involved too. That's kind of one of the guys that we kind of forget about from the draft because we just haven't seen enough from him too.
Yep. And he's an edge rusher.
He's an edge guy. He could go out there and do well. And I mean, to be honest, even in the preseason, he had some pretty high remarks about what he's been doing. So it's interesting. We have such a deep edge room, and we've had so many guys out there that have done well that I kind of keep forgetting about Justin Eboigbe, and it would be awesome to be able to see him out there.
He had a really bad neck injury in college too. Yeah. So like a lot of people didn't think he was going to come back. Yeah. He had an amazing season when he came back at Alabama, and that's why we drafted him the way we did, and so. The dude's got a lot. I mean, I watched a couple of different videos on him and how well he played. Very gap sound, and he did a good job. Right now, again, those were preseason games, but you could probably see a larger role for him, which I think would be great. I mean, why not? Why not put him out there? You may as well.
I agree. I agree.
A team that's pretty much beat up. What do they got? 2 games. They won 2. They're 2-6.
Yeah, 2-6. Yeah, they beat, and they've been kind of obviously not having their, Will Levis playing, but I mean they are one of the worst in the leagues in turnovers. Mason Rudolph has been the quarterback in the last couple of weeks. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about some of their stats of what they got going on too, because there's some stats that are just astounding that just kind of don't honestly make any sense. But
it's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So let's look at the ageless wonder right here. Look at Khalil Mack right here. Yeah. This is the first sack. I'm going to do a short on this one, so I already got teed up. But how far wide he is. And then you got Bud Dupree on the opposite
Yeah,
side.
he's super far out there. All right.
But look at this.
Whoa.
Spin move inside was incredible. And he's so lucky that ball came back
Yeah.
to him, you know. And
Right.
but look at the spin move inside. It's crazy. I was watching this again. I was like, wow. Because look, you'd think he's going to go outside, but then he kind of fakes outside, then goes straight in.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Whoop. See you,
Oh,
bud.
man, just puts him on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, look, I just feel like, you know, I still feel like this team defensively could even get better. By the way, Deion Headley leads this team with sacks, 20-plus sacks over anybody else. Insane.
You mean tackles?
Tackle, sorry.
I'm like, dang, dude, 20 plus sacks over. I'm like, dang.
You gotta take that record.
Am I blinking every single time? Like, am I missing something there?
Thank you for correcting me on that. Yeah, but yes, 20-plus tackles. Yeah, incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
You gotta love it,
but
man.
I mean, you just gotta love this. You're like, oh my God, like what an amazing play, you know, and like untouched, like absolutely untouched, you know. So, anyways, just awesome.
One thing I really love watching when Khalil Mack gets sacks, like, you know, I know a player gets excited sometimes where they just decide to, like, you know, they want to spear them essentially and just bury them and then have like their helmet kind of leading into the chest, which leads to a penalty. He does a great job of, like, that is a clear sack. That is a very clean sack.
Yeah.
Like, he does not want to get penalized. He does not want to get fined. Like, you know, he basically does it always correctly on how he creates sacks and how he achieves his sacks. He never tries to do it like over violent type situation. He knows his arms and his hands are strong enough to where he could just throw the dude on the ground kind of thing. Like, he really abides by the rule. He's like almost like the how can I say the absolute, I can't think of the word right now, but basically he's like the absolute perfect example of how to sack a quarterback in the NFL. In my opinion. He's just an absolute monster out there, and I love watching it. But Eddie, that's a great point here. I mean, what did we get? 6 sacks last week?
Yeah.
You think over and under for Bolts? Will the sack Will Levis 6.5 times tomorrow?
You know, and Will Levis is struggling, man. He doesn't move in the pocket that great. You know, and I think the argument is that team is just pretty bad. The offensive line's not great, if I remember correctly. The pressure rate's horrible. They're giving up tons of, you know. But, you know, we'll see what happens. And again, I think it also depends on who's out there, right? I think you probably could rest Bosa. You probably could rest, you know, maybe Mack. Let Mack sit for the game, you know. Or just put him on a snap count. Suit him up and then just put him on a snap count, you know, and just say, hey, you know, we'll usually spare him like third downs, you know, major pressure packages, third and longs, you know. That's probably what I would do, where you just, you know, use them for, you know, 10, 15 snaps. Yep.
Situational parts too. Yeah. And that's the one thing too, that I think it was the Titans are giving up about, I think it was 43% on a pressure rate to the quarterback, which is 43%. So you're almost saying half of the time you're getting pressure on their quarterback. That is not good. That is not good at all. So that's what I was seeing from the NFL, like game time preview type thing. And I was like, I was looking around trying to find that rate. I couldn't see it, but hey, they're the NFL. They know the stats better than I do for sure. So, but yeah, Aether, thanks, man. $4.99. Let's go. Appreciate it, man.
$4.99. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, dude. We are trying to get that grand slam, dude. You know that, Dennis.
Get that $5 make you holla.
Hey, what's up? Did you have a question, Aether? Because I didn't see a question.
I didn't see any question or anything.
If you do, you know, throw it out there.
If you guys want to jump in and real quick, just talk about side-by-side stats for the Chargers and Titans offensively. Now, these are interesting stats. So you got to think there's a tale of two different teams right now at this point now, guys. Like, you think about it, you look at the Chargers and the Titans, you're like, yeah, you're not far off from the same amount of points per game, which is kind of weird to look at. But tale of two different teams, 5-3 team or a 2-6 team. Like, we're basically a $5 KFC Phillips. Let's go. But basically, like, we're not like far off from the same amount of points that the Titans are making. But once again, they're just basically finding ways to lose. When you start looking at the defensive side of things, it just doesn't really make sense. You know, passing offense, we're 21st in the league. They're 27th. Rushing offense, we're 20th. They're 12th, which is, you know, not bad. bottom line, and I said in the video yesterday, and just kind of the quick preview video of today's show. When was the last time we saw a rushing offense over 100 yards at least on average per game? It's been
amazing,
absolutely
amazing
forever.
Probably the first really long time.
Yeah, I don't even think Herbert's ever had that in any of his years as a quarterback because, his running back essentially has been Austin Eckler. It's not true number one kind of, premier type back kind of guy. He's a different type of guy, but this has been the first time that I think in Herbert's career that he's had a rushing offense at least over 100 yards. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I don't know, but I just don't think I've seen it under Herbert at all. So
did you say correct me if I'm wrong, Chad?
Chad, yes, Chad.
Who's Chad?
Yeah.
Who's Chad? Yeah. Miguel, I don't have access to the crayon. James is running it right now. He's doing a terrible job, by the way. I just want you to know that.
I'm not doing much crayon here, dude. I'm not doing much
on the crayon.
You need to get that crayon going.
Yeah.
But big thing here too is that our total offense for 22nd in the league, they're 27th. I mean, we're having total offense of 315 yards per game. You gotta love that. I mean, that's good. I think it's only getting better for this offense, to be honest. I'll show you a stat here shortly after this that you're seeing this offense is going in the right direction. Once again, the ascending plane. Chargers are an ascending plane at this point, especially offensively.
We're like a Tesla SpaceLink rocket, just taking off.
Just go.
Or Starlink. Is it Starlink?
Starlink.
Starship. What's the big one? Starship. Starship
Enterprise.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That was
yeah. So here's the awesome touchdown to Quentin Johnston. By the way, I want to say one thing before I play this video. Jalen Reagor, I think the Chargers actually like what they're seeing Jalen Reagor also. Yep. I think that's probably a big reason why they didn't go after a wide receiver. You guys know that I said I wanted us to go after a wide receiver or maybe even a cornerback or maybe, just add some extra. Oh, Starlink. There we go. And long story short, I think they're very happy with Jalen Reagor. I think he's a good team guy. He's done a very good job blocking. I've been watching a lot of his plays. I think he's fine. I think they looked at him and said, you know what? He's cheap. He's good. He's an additional addition to this team. Let's just roll with the punches with him. But look at how Quentin Johnston has improved. And this play right here, obviously, Justin Herbert does a kill. He's either idling or just keeping the play the same way. Again, play action. A little bit rolls out of the pocket. Look at this. Boop. I mean, and look at the separation speed. Guys, Q can be an X wide receiver. I just think he's lost some confidence, right? So, but again, this goes to my point, right? When you're beating people downfield like this, it changes the way they're going to run the defense because then they say, crap, we got to keep our two safeties deep, and we cannot keep the safeties close to the offensive line of scrimmage. So then the running game will open up, right? We were kind of going the opposite way. Let's get the running game going, but we kind of took the opposite approach. No, let's get the passing game going, and then it'll open up the running game. So it's an interesting conversation. By the way, Pipkins is out here right now. I think he left. When did he leave? Did he leave in the third quarter or the fourth quarter? I can't remember when Jamari came in. Do you guys remember?
Yeah, it was something like that. I think it was in the mid.
It was towards the end. Like that. Yeah, it was definitely towards the end.
And I know Pipkins has been dealing with some things as well, but but look at the way he caught this ball too. He caught it perfectly. He waited for it. It's just I'm just saying this coaching staff is so much better than what we had with Staley. Staley was like, do what you want, blah, blah, blah. There was no real, structure. And remember when we were at camp, Sanjay Lal, remember what he was doing? He was throwing the ball over his shoulders like a million times.
Yep.
And he was catching it, just running, catch it. And he was doing it every single game. And I think we saw him on the jugs machine catching the ball quite a bit as well too. So guys, repetition makes a big difference, right? So anyways, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I think you're going to see better from Quentin Johnston. And I think you might even see better with Jalen Reagor, which everyone just thought he was just hot garbage. But just goes to show you, if you could put him on a good coaching staff, he will actually be elevated and do well. Right. So anyways, just some thoughts there.
Well, and the one thing too, about Quentin Johnston, he was drafted because of yards after catch kind of situation.
Yes.
And he does a great job with the ball in his hands. I mean, he does a phenomenal job. And I think it's just, once again, coaching matters. I was just going to say the whole thing about Sanjay Lal. Like, his track record is pretty good to be able to produce very high quality wide receivers.
DJ Metcalf was a great example.
Yep, Metcalf's a great example. And so he was also with the Cowboys too, with CeeDee Lamb, I believe, also too. So like, he's been able to develop very, very strong wide receivers. And, it's finally, I could even say, I think I said earlier in the year, are we ever going to have a wide receiver over 100 yards? And we have now done it 2 weeks in a row that we've had a wide receiver over 100 yards. So once again, that's why that ascending plane idea, like, our offense is going upwards at this point. So it's exciting to see that, guys. And it's fun to watch Justin Herbert throw the dang ball. Like, I think it's Greg Roman understands what he has. Now, Lamar Jackson was one of his last quarterbacks that he was, coaching, or at least as an offensive coordinator. Lamar Jackson's different in different ways and better in different ways. Justin Herbert is a guy that just knows how to throw the dang ball and be very, very, as you can see right now, he's 10 touchdowns, 1 pick this season. He knows how to protect the ball. He could throw those very tight window type balls all around. So it's exciting to be able to see that he's noticing that, hey, Herbert's pretty dang good, by the way.
Well, and then I think it's 100, almost like 190 attempts with no interceptions.
Yeah, it's like a record, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? So, dude, and again, people argue.
Going. Let's keep.
He's got a crack. They're like, oh, he doesn't have a great, wide receiving core. Well, and I would agree with that. We're probably not the best wide receiving core, but he's still making it work with what he has, right? Disley is purely a blocking tight end for the most part. Hayden Hurst is supposed to be the offensive guy, but he's been out, right? So, there's just a lot to be said about that. Anyways.
Yeah. Aether's got a question. He's been jonesing for it here. It's for James though.
Oh, yeah. James, my bro, or he calls me sometimes darling.
James, my darling.
This is going to be the toughest test for Coach Harbaugh and Minter. How do you going to defend the Bengals' potent offense and slow chase down? I mean, this is the first time in a long time that I've seen a defense that I feel 100% confident that they're going to have the right game plan out there. Everybody on the field is going to be in unison 100%, that I think they'll find a way to shut them down. Now, once again, it is going to be one of the biggest offensive teams that we've played outside of the Chiefs, but they've been struggling quite a bit on offense too.
Yeah, they have.
But I do think the Bengals offensively are good. I don't think they have much of a running game. It's once again just all about slow down chase pretty much the entire time. Get to Burrow. I think offensively, offensive line wise, I don't think they're as good. So I think as long as you just get to Burrow and not allow him to really throw that much, I think we'll be fine. Next week, that game is – I don't even want to talk about next week, to be honest, because we're talking about a game in front of us right now with the Titans. But that Bengals game, I was saying weeks ago, even at the Cardinals game, people were asking about it. That Bengals game is going to be big for this team, for both teams, to be honest. Because if the Bengals are completely on a lifeline at this point, they have to win to even have a chance. Just like the whole playoff percentage that we chatted about earlier, they're somewhat in it, but they find a way to beat the Chargers. That really elevates their game. And once again, they're on it's kind of a short bye week in a sense, in a way.
Yeah, they got that mini bye week coming up.
Bye, so
yeah,
I think once again, get to Burrow as much as you can, hold down Chase, you should be fine. And I'm confident our defense will do that.
Yeah, I think it's great. But this is another good play for Quentin. He's on the left side of the screen here, but we got a man in motion. I love this play too. QJ. Oh, there we go. I mean, and again, this is the yak piece right here too, man. I mean, I'm just a huge fan of what he did here, and he also found a soft spot in the zone, which is good. It goes to show you that Quentin Johnson and Justin Herbert are on the same page, right? He gets ran, stop, boom, found the soft spot in the zone, got the first down, got a few extra yards. Yeah, I'm just saying it's not an explosive play, but it's a great play. It just goes to show you that Quentin and Herbert are on the same page. That's why I wanted to highlight it more than anything. So, but it's harder than it shows, right? You think, it's just whatever, but it's a very good play.
Well, there was the one play that it was a missed catch by Quentin where Justin Herbert threw the ball a little bit kind of behind. Justin Herbert threw the ball just a little bit behind QJ, and he didn't catch the ball. It was kind of an awkward kind of throw, but he was throwing it to a safe point for Quentin Johnson to catch the ball. Yep. And obviously he didn't catch the ball. And then when that whole drive was done, they went to the sidelines and reviewed it together with Quentin, with Justin Herbert. And they were basically like saying, hey, kind of educating him more or less like, hey, look, I threw it there because of this reason. What this does is it protects the ball, but it also puts you in a position where you could get the ball safely to be able to make a play out of that at that point. So, and it's great to see that. Like Justin Herbert this year has really grown a lot as a leader and a vocal leader, which I love to see that. Like you got to love to see that with Justin Herbert. So it's exciting to see the growth that's happening with this team very quickly. Coaching matters, guys. Once again, it's huge with this team.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a big part of where Harbaugh has influenced Justin Herbert. You know, he said, hey, look, man, you need to step up. And I think Brandon Staley probably tried to do that with Justin Herbert, but it's a little different when you have this is my argument. When a guy like Jim Harbaugh has been in the league, done it, he knows how to be an NFL quarterback, and then he becomes a head coach, there's a little more validity behind what he says, right? Respect. He's got more respect. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things where you say, okay, that makes a difference. And so, and I think, and you're right, Herbert's gotten more excited. You see when he throws a great pass, he gets all hyped up. He looked at the sideline. He's hyping his boys up, right? And so, again, coaching matters, right? And if you don't do that, if you can't make that happen, it's frustrating. Let me show one more video here, and then we'll go to the defense real quick because this is the offense. Let me show one more real fast. This is the JK Dobbins. This is just an inside zone play. This is essentially an RPO inside zone, right? So you're just going to basically hand the ball up to JK, and he's just going to run up the middle. I mean, we all saw how this play worked. But again, man in motion, it's clearly zone. Great blocking, pretty much untouched into the end zone, right? And again, you can look at that and go, well, that was easy. Well, it was easy because the blocks went really well, right? Yeah. And he hit the right hole. And 93 is just cleared out. Look at that. Yep. And dude, my fat ass could have ran that ball through, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, it's big, right? And this is why, also they're probably thinking pass. Oh crap. Oh, and then these guys over pursued it. I mean, look at these three guys just over pursued right here. Watch this as well. I think it's pretty interesting.
Those three cotton-headed nitty muggins.
Cotton-headed and Muggins, 30 and number 12. Watch, they over pursue. No, I'm sorry, 23 and 12.
They followed too much. Yeah.
Yep. Three guys just that's not gap sound defense on that play, right? The whole point of it is block a gap and make sure you get no penetration. All three of them were in that one area, and it just easily made it open, right? So
it's crazy.
This is why continuing with the run game a lot works. You just say, hey, it's going to work eventually.
Yep. Some point it's going to hit, right? You're going to get a home run, and you'll just do it. I mean, the thing is, it's not like JK had a bunch of explosive plays, but he had enough and got still 2 touchdowns out of it. And that was pretty much his explosive play this year, or that game. So, but
no penetration, Andrew. That's right. Nope. That's
right. A lot of sexual innuendos going on here.
What's going on here? Hey, double air horn.
Man, I got this bee coming after me right now. It's crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
About to get that honey, dude. About to get that.
That's right. So one thing I wanted to emphasize just on the offense real quick is the big difference that's been going on with the Titans. I'm going to pull out the crayon on this one, guys.
Whoa, let's see what you can do.
Finally.
Let's see what you can do.
Stat right here, guys. Damn. So you got to look at the difference. Look at the difference between these. Chargers only 4 turnovers all season. 2 of those were against the Cardinals. That's why we lost that game. Mm-hmm. But 17 turnovers for the Titans. 31st in the league. You cannot win games for having 17 turnovers already in 9 games or whatever it's been.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're not going to win games. That is awful. Think about that. 9 games over 17. That is almost 2 a game.
That's terrible.
Toast. you're toast. Like, you're not going to win games doing that. And so, bottom line, that's where this game is going to be decided. And I think, to be honest, the Chargers are going to find a lot of ways to get turnovers in this game. And that's phenomenal. Now, I'm going to say, going to the next slide here. This is from Up and Adams show. You know what I'm saying?
Love you some Up and Adams, dude. What's up?
She's a Charger fan. She likes talking about Chargers, but this is
that's right.
This is the ascending offense. Ascending offense here. Here we go. First 4 games, 2-2. Last 4, 3-1. But the passing yards per game. Look at the difference here. Look at this. Bam. Upwards, baby. Let's go.
It's a whole different team right there, man.
That's a weird looking arrow, dude. You got to work on that arrow.
Shady, dude.
Arrow game, dude. A little weird arrow game. I don't know what's going on there.
We got to do it to this one too.
Okay, much better. Oh, there we go. I like that. It's good.
There we go. But the funny thing about it is it's not like in the first 4 games. It's not like he didn't play well. 5 touchdowns, one pick. 5 touchdowns, 0 picks. But the thing is, the efficiency goes up. He's basically had a better passer rating. He's had more yards per game. He's gotten healthier. Now, you keep a healthy Herbert out there, you're going to get a chance to win a lot of freaking games. And bottom line, I think this is where this offense is leading to, and it's exciting to watch. It's exciting to watch this Herbert sling the ball around. This team is better. The NFL is better when Herbert's slinging the ball around, in my opinion. So
big time.
Love to see it, guys. Love to see it.
Jeez.
But if you want to move on. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we like we were saying, like, we get this type of Herbert out of these games, and then you get, the running game that we've had lately. This team is going to be a force to be reckoned with, 100%.
Big time.
And so, like, we're, if we continue on this path, we're definitely making the playoffs at this point. Yes, we do want to talk about the playoffs right now, So, like, at that point, because we are a playoff team if this path is followed.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the whole trade deadline situation, I mean, I keep emphasizing we don't even know what we have with DJ Shark and him being in the offense in main season. Now, I will say the thing about DJ Shark, adding another weapon like this is just, I think, what is it? Jim Harbaugh says, we're getting stronger. We're getting better or something like that. And adding a guy like this where you have an offense that's working, a guy who's a downfield kind of guy, a guy that could do well in contested catches too, great body control, speed, and everything too. It just could elevate this team even further. And it's not like he's not a rookie or anything too. He's been in the league for some years and been productive. And I'm excited to see DJ Shark and what he could do in this offense. And it looks like he's going to start this week. So
he has to start this week. It's like the 21 day window is over. And so this is it. Like I was really hoping that he would have started last week. That way we could have seen what we had in him, and then maybe if we needed to, we could have made some trades. But so it's already past that now. So
you got what you got in front of you, and they're gonna roll with it at this point. So
maybe what they'll do is they'll just put them on a snap count too. They might just say, hey, we'll have them run a couple, third downs, or maybe they'll put them in for very specific packages, but they'll ease him into the offense for sure, right? I don't suspect he'll be, gangbusters right out of the gate for sure.
No,
but
not at all. I don't expect that either. But speaking of gangbusters, this defense. I mean, this defense is just, look at this, guys. Look at this. First, passing defense.
There you go.
11.
There you go. Okay, nice.
Rushing defense. Yeah,
Hey.
this one is me because it's like, think of how bad we've been in rushing defense for freaking years. When you had
under BS,
dude,
defense,
dude, crazy. In total defense, we're 8th in the league here, guys. Like, this is amazing to watch this defense, essentially with the same personnel, and finding a way to basically make them be one of the top defenses in the league. Like, it's exciting, guys. It's exciting to finally see this defense perform in the way they are performing. And I think Jesse Minter talked briefly about how he coaches defense, and it was something to the effect of like, man, I keep it simple for them. Keep it simple for them. Don't overcomplicate it. And I'm not here to overcoach you by any means. Keep it simple. I mean, Andrew and I are in sales. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overcomplicate things by any means. Keep it simple for everybody to understand what to do versus I'm going to keep coaching you until beat it into your head until you figure it out. But Jesse Minter does just a great job of basically just keeping it simple. And the results say everything here.
Yep. Well, the one thing I will say too, the points allowed, right? 26.6 points per game, 27th in the league, right? Now, but this is weird. But look at this. The total defense is 269. They're first in the league in total defense. Cool. So what does that tell you? They're giving up X plays, right? And look at passing defense. They're also first in passing defense. So, but they're giving up rushing, just essentially X plays is what they're giving up with. So that's big. Yeah.
But I mean, it's funny because like the whole Titans team giving up that 26.6 points per game, 27th in the league versus like scoring at, what are they at? 16 points a game or whatever it was. The thing about it is what they're doing is they're leading to a lot of this red zone defense issues at this point.
Yeah.
They're giving up 17. They've given up 17 turnovers already. So their red zone defense is getting obliterated and they're allowing way too much points because they're probably fumbling or getting interceptions and putting it right back into the red zone or short field situations that they're getting scored on all the time.
Well, they're not getting takeaways either, too.
Yeah, and they're not getting any takeaways, so they're not getting any plus column. I mean, they're essentially right now at a plus 11 right? No, is it plus 11 or negative 11? Either which way. They have more giveaways than takeaways at this point by 11.
Pretty bad.
So that's not good.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this, too. I bet right now they're probably going, damn it, we shouldn't have let Elijah Molden go, right?
No.
For what, a 2026 sixth round pick or something like that? Like ridiculous.
I think 2028 seventh round.
Yeah, I think it's 2026.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. I think someone in the chat said 2028, so I don't know.
Well,
so maybe someone keep us honest on that. But I was like, wow, that's ridiculous. And he's just been incredible. I mean, he's fit in immediately into the offense and allows Derwin James to do his thing. Let me show you one play. This is not a play where you're going to be like, oh my God, that was incredible. But we talked about how amazing Deion Henley is. This is a play that is, man, just a great play for a young linebacker. And guys, again, he leads the team in tackles. Just goes to show you what he can do. But watch this. He lines up. Deion's right here. Does a great job of hitting the hole and taking Ford out on this. I already gave you the punchline, but look at this. Boop. Boop. Sorry, you're going nowhere, buddy. And again, he made a decisive choice, hit the gap, and struck.
Yep.
Plenty of jokes there, guys. Insert jokes there. Chat. Hit that hoe. Yeah, we need the LT.
Hit that hoe.
Hit that hole, dude. But I'm just saying, this is just gap sound defense.
Yep.
And he just does a great job of seeing the hole and saying, McGill, hit that gap. That's right.
And strike.
I'll add that to my online dating profile. Yeah, I always hit that gap. You know what I mean? I'm going to hell, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hell. It is what it is. But I just want to point out how amazing our linebackers are also playing. And by the way, Denzel Perriman has been incredible as well for a veteran linebacker.
Yeah.
Incredible. And guys, the thing is, one thing I'll say too, you do not want your safeties to be making plays because why? Your safeties are further back, right? So it just goes to show you that they're getting tackles deeper in the field. But when your linebackers are getting tackles, it's showing you that they're getting negative plays, right? At the line of scrimmage or very short yardage plays. And it's when your linebackers are making the best plays defensively, you have an amazing defense, right? So anyhow.
Well, and the one thing too, like I'll say about like Denzel Perriman being on the team, such a veteran Swiss Army knife kind of guy that teaches a guy like a Deion Henley and makes him a better player. I mean, Deion went out to Japan with Derwin James and they kind of buddy-buddied and had a trip in the summertime and everything together. And I'm sure Derwin James is giving him pointers and everybody's just trying to make everybody better. But having that veteran linebacker like Denzel Perriman and showing, Deion Henley how to be a better linebacker. It's phenomenal to watch. Like that to me looked like a Denzel Perryman type of tackle.
Yeah,
and it's exciting to see. I mean, last year, man, we kept talking about put freaking the Ranger out on the field, man. Get him out there. This guy knows what he's doing. I mean, when we interviewed him, we were talking about his first special teams tackle and how he lit up a player and how excited he was on that. Like, we knew the talent this guy had as a fan, but coaching decided to be like, hey, boys club, sorry, dude, these guys are our guys, and we're going to run with these dudes. Like, put the best player out there that could make your team better. And, I mean, Deion has plenty of skill set, and I'm so excited for him to be out there, and Deion just having a great year so far.
Yeah. And the sky's the limit, right? Yeah. You know, I don't know if you guys saw, but I posted an article. The Chargers had a great article on Dan Henley that he's pretty much the prototype of what linebackers need to be now because he can cover really well, side to side, sideline, and secondarily, he's big enough where he can put people on the ground easily, right? And so that's the prototypical linebacker that is really going to be coming out of the league now, right? Because a good example, Kenneth Murray. Yep. Kenneth Murray was a downhill linebacker. Yep. He would have probably made that play, right?
Yeah.
But he couldn't cover, right? He couldn't cover anybody. He couldn't truly run with anybody in any form of coverage. And so that made him weak, right, in that regard. But someone like Deion Henley, a little smaller, could cover a potential wide receiver for a little while, and then or maybe a tight end, you know. So, anyways.
Well, and even it's funny thing you bring up Kenneth Murray. He is on the Titans. He will be playing against the Chargers in SoFi. Plus, Sebastian Joseph Day is on that team too. So they do have a couple ex-Chargers over there, and we got a couple ex-Titans on our team. So
yeah,
kind of funny.
It'll be kind of interesting reunion game for a lot of these players. So that's kind of cool.
Yep. Wait, Aether's over here throwing a bold prediction from Aether here. Chargers defense will be in the AFC Championship game. Hopefully, the offense finds a way into that.
I was gonna say, is the whole team coming?
Hopefully the whole team, not just the defense. Right.
Minter will be Cowboys' next head coach. I don't want to talk about that. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about this season.
No, we ain't talking about that. No.
I don't want. I do that stuff. That makes me sick thinking about that. I don't want. Let Minter be here for a couple more years. Come on, man.
Please. I would love that, dude.
Holy smokes, man.
Yeah,
that's championship level defense. We need to keep that going. If we want to get a chance to get a championship, this is what you got to keep Minter here, man. Quick thing about the defense. Once again, just throwing it out there. Fewest points allowed in the NFL. 101 points. Chargers only allowed 101 points so far.
That's great.
It's phenomenal. Last time we had a defense like this that actually was one of the highest ranked defenses in the league was back in 2010, which we don't talk about that season being a 9-7 season with number one offense, number one defense, with the worst special teams and not making the playoffs. That's a terrible season. But we have an offense that is accelerating right now and going, ascending, and even special teams too. Just to throw this out here real quick. Rankings after week 9, overall 9th as a team. Gotta love being in 10th. Top 10, at least. Offense 20th in the league, which is only getting better every week. Defense 4th in the league. Special teams 10th in the league. Strength of schedule to date, 24th in the league. So we kind of had a little bit of an easier schedule, but it does get harder from this point. 18th of strength of schedule remaining. So, guys, this game's big this weekend. Chargers need to get this win, and this is one of those winnable type games to go into 6-3 against the Bengals next week. Potentially, you could go 7-3 after you beat the Bengals at that point. So, it's exciting to see where this team is going and where it's leading up to. It's exciting to see that we got a team that we could not feel. I don't know. I feel like I haven't had a lot of those heart attack games yet this year. So, so far it's been pretty calm. Pretty calm. Coaching matters for our hearts, fans. For these fans' hearts, it helps. And it helps out Harbaugh's heart, too, by the way. We need his heart.
We need his heart to stay healthy. But, I mean, these next two games are, like, super important right now, you know, because we need to win these next two games because after the Bengals, it's a very steep hill to climb. We're facing off against a bunch of teams that are really hot right now. And maybe besides the Broncos or whatever like that, you know, but they're kind of like a 50-50 game, you know, but like these games we're going into, like, you know, heading into now at this most important part of the season are critical. And like, we need to have these 2 wins to have that positive momentum to actually really win, face off against these teams and actually have all that confidence built up. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we got what do we got? 8 games in front of us still, and these 8 games are
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to see that. I mean, that's the thing I hate about the NFL. It feels like the season shortens up so quickly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we have 8 games in front of us, and I mean, I guess they're kind of just looking at it like these next 2 games are critical.
Let's get this question from Grandizer 12.
Oh. 3 keys to winning the game. Yeah, and I think he puts that out there all the time. And, 3 keys, I'll give you one of my keys, get turnovers. Like, they're one of the worst in turnovers. Allow this team to cook at this point. Like, pressure the quarterback as much as you can to find ways to basically get them to make mistakes. And I feel very confidently this defense is going to find a lot of ways to get turnovers in this game.
Yeah.
That's definitely my key for sure. So I don't know.
I would say establish the run, establish be an offensive line winning, team, right? Line of scrimmage, establish the line of scrimmage as well. And then really just get our passing game going, right? I think we'll be fine if we can do that. Because again, if we can just continue to just dominate the offensive line on offense and defense, it's done. If we shut their run down, they can go nowhere. Will Levis is not going to beat us. He's not going to have an amazing game. He won't beat us. So I promise you they're probably just going to stack the box as much as they can and just try to get him to throw the ball. Just put pressure in his face. He'll screw up. He's a rookie. He's not playing well. Not a rookie. He's second-year veteran, or not veteran, but second-year player. He's going to struggle, right? He will struggle with that, right? We just got to dry hump him up and down the field, dude. That's what we got to do. Just dry hump him. You know what I mean?
Well, to your point, like establishing, say, the run, like let's say the run doesn't even work. I mean, you still have Justin Herbert could cook through the air.
Yeah.
And obviously, I know that the Titans are number 1 in the league versus the pass, but I think there's kind of a reason that they might have been getting cooked a little bit more in other ways, where there's shorter fields, a lot of turnovers that have been happening, so it doesn't look as like they've had long drives on them, essentially, because once again, if you fumble the ball in the red zone, you got 20-something yards to basically get to an end zone. Your passing defense might look better all around. But, I think confidently this team Chargers could beat you basically through the pass or the run, almost in my opinion. Pick your poison.
Yeah, take your pick. We'll beat, if you can't pass, we'll beat you with the run on the ground, So, yeah.
Exactly.
I think for me, like, the keys would be as the trenches, like, we need to protect Herbert better. That's a critical factor, because that also kind of goes into the run game too. So like that line needs to step up in a big way on offensively, to protect the run and the pass. But then the biggest thing is like just pressure on Will Levis. He's a rookie. He's making tons of mistakes, which is going to cause a lot of, like you said, takeaways and stuff. So those are my keys. Yeah.
Yep.
And we got to bring the blue chews. Got to bring the blue chews.
Blue chews.
Hey.
Yep.
Maybe we'll call it the royal jerseys from now on. Call them the blue chew jerseys.
I like that. I like that.
I like the Royals. I got a Herbert jersey, but I'm going to call it the blue chew jersey from now on.
There you go. All right. Bust out the blue chews. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
well, good, guys. Well, plenty to talk about. We're going to go live after the game, as you know.
Yes, sir.
And guys, it's going to be big. I mean, again, hopefully this is not a trap game. We want to see some good things out of the offense and defense, of course. And go get that dub, dude. Go get that dub.
Get that dub, baby. And once again, thank you everybody for all your service too. Once again, this is salute to your service weekend. So appreciate all the service that you've done for our country. Make sure we have our freedoms here.
100%. All right, guys. We're the Boat Bros. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching the Boat Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Boat Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged the fright.